Yeah, thanks for joining us for This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition. I am sitting with Jayson Zimmer, who is the General Manager of a new hotel here in Jacksonville. This is exciting for him because as we sit and visit, we're just a couple of weeks away from opening this hotel. Tell us about it. It's Hilton Jacksonville at Mayo Clinic.
That's right.
And the property looks amazing. Tell me about what's happening here.
Well, we are in fact opening a Hilton in 2 weeks. October 1st is the opening date. We're a 252 room guest room hotel, and it's a full service Hilton hotel. And it's being managed by Concord Hospitality. And so this hotel, we've been under development for 2 years. The groundbreaking was actually June 28th of 2023. So it's a long time coming. Mayo Clinic is actually a partner in the hotel. And so they wanted to build...
Partner as in co-owner.
Co-owner,
yeah,
that's right.
So they've got an investment here that's beyond just, I hope that works out.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. They're fully invested and vested in the success of this hotel. They wanted a Hilton hotel on their campus. They wanted a full service hotel, but particularly Hilton because they wanted a strong brand that they know that their guests would love. But they also want to use it for their own meetings. We've got a 10,000 square foot ballroom, 21,000 total square feet of meeting space. And so they have already booked events with us, and that's training, seminars, dinners, holiday parties, things like that are in-house Mayo, as well as some seminars that they're having people come in to attend.
So Jayson, did you come on the project 2 years ago at groundbreaking, or has it been more recently than that?
I wish I could have. It would have been great to come on that early, but no, I actually just started in April.
Okay.
April 1st is when they came on, and they asked me to come join the project as the opening GM.
Yeah, so what's left to do in the final 2 weeks? And what have these, I don't know, I guess almost 6 months been like for you since April?
Well, so it's a slow ramp, right? Like when you start, I only had the director of sales, Carrie Tani, and so it was just her and I. We were the two-person team, and then Christy, we had another sales manager. But then I slowly started to build the leadership team. So I hired, the director of food and beverage, director of engineering, the assistant GM, and so on, all the way through all the management team. So over the course of those 4 months, that's really what I was preparing for, is just getting the leadership team ready to go. All the while, the construction project was still going on and progressing. They finished the guest rooms, they started on the public areas, the meeting space, then they started getting the finishes done. And then you asked, what's still remaining with 2 weeks left?
Yeah.
It's just all of the finishing touches, right? Our team coming in and cleaning everything and getting all the guest rooms guest ready. So, putting in all the guest supplies that the guests use during the stay. Activating the TVs, activating our front desk computers. So all the little details that go into making a great, Hilton full service hotel.
What was the need for this hotel? What was the opportunity that either Mayo saw or Hilton, or to combine, you said, yes, we think this would be really good and successful and it would meet a need?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's, I think, a few different factors involved. So one of our other owners in the partnership group that created the hotel was Whitman Peterson, a longtime hotel builder. And then our owner of my management company, which is Concord Hospitality, is Mark Laporte. They wanted an expert in running hotels. That's Concord Hospitality, and that's Mark Laporte's company. So they actually partnered with them because they wanted someone that could provide a level of service for their in-house guests. And so if you think about Mayo Hospital, they've got a lot of people that come internationally to do research, to do education, to do joint, surgery type related items. And then of course you've got the biggest need, which is the Mayo patient. And so we have a sister property with another property that Concord runs, which is the Residence Inn Mayo. And we have a lot of knowledge from that hotel, and they serve 90% primarily all Mayo patients. So we do believe we're going to get a large percentage of Mayo patients here, and that would be one of the biggest needs of why they wanted to have a hotel here. So there's a Courtyard Marriott around the corner, and that's also owned by Mayo. And so we are now the full service kind of brother, if you will, of that one. But the intention was to get a larger hotel, new hotel, with more rooms, 252 rooms, and more importantly, to have the banquet space. And so now you can combine serving the Mayo patients, which would be the regular guest rooms, our beautiful coastal kitchen restaurant, the pool, but then also the other meetings that happen, the seminars, the trainings, the education. And so that's, I think, what they're most excited about, is being able to utilize our facility for those larger events that they didn't have a space for on property.
How does this compare to your prior experience in the industry, and how is this maybe similar to or different than those other properties you've been at?
Well, very different, in fact. I'm from California, born and raised, worked up and down the coast of California. So I was in hotels with Marriott up in Northern California, where you get a mixture of Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and the coast. I ran a hotel, a Hilton hotel actually, in Monterey, California. So that was more of a coastal kind of vacation destination, a lot more leisure basis. And then there was government. So each market kind of offers a different dynamic. The reason why this is such a special project is because it's really a service for Mayo and the greater people that serve Mayo, but also Jacksonville. So you're getting a combination of the two. Jacksonville, as you know, is a growing city. There's just so much happening in the city, and we've got a beautiful coastline. We've got a great downtown. And then you've got now this Mayo component, right? It's like its own little city right here, kind of sandwiched in between. So I think all of that was really the reasons why they wanted to have a Hilton hotel here. We're the only full service Hilton in all of northeast coastal area of Florida. And so a lot of people wouldn't know that. They would think, oh, there's got to be a ton of Hiltons, but there's not. We are the only one. We're the first one to be built in over 2 decades.
So I know we're talking a lot about that connection with Mayo, but you just alluded to it. Hey, beyond the patients and the researchers and the surgeons and all of that, who is this going to appeal to, or who are you going to branch out to and say, hey, you're in the area, you should be doing your event here or having stays here, that sort of thing?
Well, and I think that's where some of the other Hiltons that I've been at, for example, the Hilton in Mission Valley, San Diego, we were getting a lot of corporate business travelers that choose Hilton on purpose. They like the service, they like the accommodations. It's very business traveler savvy and friendly. So this hotel was designed the same way. So we do believe we're going to get the business traveler that wants to stay at Hilton, that trusts the brand, they're Hilton Honors members. And so we're going to get a large percentage of those people as well. And then when you talk about your leisure traveler, I think that's where the part of Jacksonville that's really taking off. A lot of people are coming to Jacksonville for tourism. They're coming to see our beautiful beaches, come see the zoo, watch an event in downtown, shop, go to St. Augustine, all these different things that are to do around here, go to TPC, over in Ponte Vedra Beach. And so there's a lot of leisure things you can do here, and I think we're going to see a lot of those travelers as well on the weekends.
Yeah. Jayson, I know you guys are getting ready to launch October 1st. What's going to make this first year, or whatever period you designate, what's going to make that successful?
Well, it definitely starts with the team that we have here. So I told the team the other day, we just hired 130 hourly employees. We did a big job fair, we did a big new hire orientation. But when we did that, I made a comment to them. I said, when we started, that they were very fortunate to have been chosen. We actually interviewed hundreds of candidates and came down to those 130. So we individually interviewed each person with the mindset of, we want to have a particular kind of service here. We want a service that can connect with people, that can be friendly and more personal, and then really create like a family type service feeling with our patients individually as well as families' needs. So we did all of our hiring with that in mind, and I think that team is what's really going to set the hotel up for success in the long run.
Is there a particular feature of the hotel that you would want people to know about, since you've got an opportunity right now to tell them all about it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think in addition to just having beautiful accommodations in the rooms, our pool and our pool area is actually very unique. It's one of the largest pools that I've had at a full service Hilton. Think about it, we're not necessarily a resort, right? Yeah. But if you look behind us, there's a beautiful lake right here. Yeah. And so we are waterfront, in addition to being on the Mayo campus. But our pool area is just beautiful, and it's got cabanas, and it's got plenty of lounge seating, and then we have a great pool bar outside of our Coastal Kitchen restaurant. So we've got great indoor-outdoor seating, terraces. So it's a lot more outdoor than you would think being on a Mayo campus, and I think that's going to be the surprise when the travelers come try us out. is they'll be pleasantly surprised to see how peaceful the setting is, and that it actually feels like you're more in nature.
And what's the restaurant like? Coastal Kitchen, you said.
Coastal Kitchen, yeah, it's a modern vibe. Our chef, Andrew, he's coming from the Omni in North Carolina. And so he's a really innovative young chef that thinks of creative recipes that he can put his spin on it. He loves to barbecue, he loves to use his smoker, and he also likes to infuse a lot of healthy ingredients into his food. And so we're excited to see what he does when we launch this menu. I think that the community is going to love it. So I think we're not only going to be able to service our in-house guests, but I think we're going to have locals and visitors in the area that would want to come try out Coastal Kitchen.
Jason, I can see the excitement. You're excited about this, even though you're in the stretch run here these final couple weeks, right?
Very excited, very excited. I mean, when you put this much time and effort into a project and you see it all come together, I mean, everyone gets excited. The owners get excited, the management company, our employees get excited. So we believe it's contagious. I think the guests are going to get excited when they come in.
So if opening date is October 1st, will you have guests that night?
On October 1st, we already have reservations.
Come on, okay.
We're actually planning the celebration for the first guest. We want to make a big deal about it. I think that something this special in the community is really important to celebrate. Like I said, it's the first full-service Hilton. It's the first big full-service hotel that's opened up in Jacksonville in a long time. And so we believe the community is going to love it, and we want to support the community.
So Jayson Zimmer, Hilton Jacksonville at Mayo Clinic, and here it comes, coming soon. Thank you so much for watching or listening on our podcast. Remember, wherever you find This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition, go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow. New episodes come out every Thursday at 9.